Hi, this is Lucky Smith. I'm reporting for Star River News Magazine. Today is April 24th of 2012, and I'm here with
Ike.
Ike. And Ike, where can people find you at?
Where could they find me?
Yeah.
Right now, I'm currently finishing up my last bit of classes and training at school in Waco, Texas. I'm originally from South Central California, so that's where I'll be once I'm done. Things like that.
Okay, and I understand that you are a football player. That's correct?
Yes, ma'am. I played running back for the past couple of years here at Baylor University in special teams, and a little bit before that, I attended junior college at El Camino in Southwest, and I went to Locke High School in Locke, California, where I had a 3-year career there as well.
And I understand you're growing pro this season. You're one of the draft picks. Is that correct?
Oh, yes. Just by the grace of God, I've been able to get on a few draft boards and have NFL scouts recognize me through my accomplishments, just a collegiate career, and also the things that I've done at my pro day, which recently passed, which was March 22nd, March 21st. Sorry about that. And I pretty much had a good day, so ever since then, things have been looking up for me through the grace of God. So the NFL is near. So pretty much what it is right now.
And I understand that you are currently signed with, you have a sports agent right now.
Yes, his name is James Huntley, so that's my agent right now. He's been with me through the hard times and stuff like that, so he's a good guy, and blessed and thankful that God put me with him, so I couldn't ask for anybody better at this point in time.
And you're seeing hard times. I understand, I mean, you went through quite a ordeal going from South LA to Texas. I mean, would you like to share some of your story, your road to glory with us? Because that's what it is, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's fine. Well, through high school, I had a pretty stellar high school career. My senior year, I went for over 1,800 yards, about like 20 touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken. And I was highly recruited by a number of universities. I received a few scholarship offers, but it's unfortunate that my SAT couldn't match my GPA, so I ended up having to go ahead and go to junior college. And my first year I went to Southwest Junior College, and I wasn't too familiar with junior college just because I didn't plan on going to junior college. Not that anything is wrong with taking that route, but it's a blessing to be able to have another outlet to continue your career after high school if you don't go to Division I right away. So I went up there and I had a decent career there. I led the team my freshman year with touchdowns with 10. It was great players there, great coaches. It was a great environment, but the thing is, we wasn't winning there. And, throughout my high school career, just younger days at Pop One, I always competed and played with the best of the best and was on winning programs. So I just wanted to give myself a shot to basically further my career and go Division I while also trying to win. So I decided to go over and transfer to El Camino here in college. It was ranked number 2 in the nation at the time. I think I had got there in Division I athletes, if I'm not mistaken. So they had a name for themselves, and I knew I could get over there and compete and did things the right way. I could potentially set myself up to live out some of my dreams as far as being a collegiate football player and things like that. So I went ahead and transferred to El Camino. I was ranked top 100 player, junior college players in the country at that point in time, received a number of scholarship offers, but I decided to go over to Baylor University because it was just a great university from what I had knew. When I had took a visit here, I was sold. I feel like it was a great place for me based off the environment and the people that I had met here, and I just feel really comfortable here with the coaches and things of that nature. A little after that, after a visit, I ended up coming to the university early January 2010, where I began my Division I career as a running back in the special teams player. But it was unfortunate that I wasn't able to accomplish many of my individual goals, but it was also just a blessing in disguise to be here and play behind some great running backs such as my junior. I played behind Jake Philly. He's now on the current roster for the Seattle Seahawks. I learned a lot from him. Playing running back behind that kid right there, he was great. And my senior year, I didn't get a chance to play as much as I would have liked, but I played behind another great running back in Terrence Ganaway. He's a highly recruited running back for the NFL at this time as well. Both great kids. I got a chance to learn a lot of things from them as well as learn from my coaches and things of that nature. So, although things didn't go the way that I planned to individually, I can't complain. I played with great players here at Baylor University. I got a chance to showcase some of my ability on special teams, where I made about 7 tackles on special teams, running down there on kickoff, and forced fumble. So, although I didn't do what I wanted to do at running back, I was still blessed and grateful and thankful for the opportunity that I did get, and just being around these coaches and around the players, such as Robert Griffin, Kendall White, Chance Ganaway, Tracy Robinson. It was just a lot of big players that I got the opportunity to play with, such as Phil Taylor from last year, went first round, as well as Danny Watkins. So Baylor has just been a great place, a great learning experience, and just another place where I'm going to be making the stepping stone here to continue to write my story. So Baylor has been great to me. I'm very thankful that I chose the university. I have no regrets whatsoever. And this week is probably the biggest week of my life because it's leading up to the draft week. Whether I be called late in the 7th round or get a free agency call, it's all a blessing, and I'm just thankful for the opportunity that I was given from God and my coaches. That's pretty much where I'm at right now.
And then
as far as my career.
And also, before I got interview with you, of course, I got permission from your agent, James Huntley, and he told me something that you're about to quit right when he had met you. You're about to walk away from football. What made you turn things around from there?
Can you say that again, please? I'm sorry,
I said that before I had interviewed you. I got permission from your agent, which is James Huntley, and he told me that when he had met you, you were kind of ready to quit football. So, I mean, the next thing you know, you're on the roster. So how does that feel? Like, you that pulling through.
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I'm sorry about that. It wasn't so much I was ready to quit. It just was the fact that, my time here at Baylor was getting kind of hard, because I always had big teams and big goals, so I wanted to be a primary player and help contribute to my team, and I wasn't able to do that. So, it was a lot of nights where, I had to fight hard mentally and things like that, and I almost gave up hope, NFL-wise and things like that, but, I prayed hard, and God put me around the right people. I was blessed enough to have a great coaching, and I'm just not a quitter. I've always been a fighter, throughout my whole life, so it's not so much I was ready to quit, it's just I had to dig deep and continue to find things to motivate me outside of my family and my personal life back home to keep going. So,
I understand that because Star Over News magazine, I mean, all of us has a Star Over story where sometimes, especially when you're on the path of where you need to go, it's just not going to be easy, and you've proven that. I mean, how does it feel to come from South LA to Texas and now going pro? I mean, you must be proud. I mean, just looking back from where you started to where you are. I mean, how do you feel at this point?
I mean, man, the road was long. Just coming out, even after high school, having to go to junior college, that was just tough right there by itself. I was raised by my grandmother and my older sister, so, I didn't have much of male guidance, unfortunately. But that's no excuses, because a lot of people was raised like that. So, I didn't let that stop me from what I was trying to do. And it feels great to look back and know that I fought through all those things and overcame all those things. But, the road is only going to get harder. The road is only going to get harder, so I'm looking forward to fight and continue to fight and continue to have that fighter's mentality to get to where I'm trying to get. But, it's all a blessing. I thank God every night, every day, throughout the day, because, without God, I wouldn't have been able to accomplish any of the things that I've accomplished. So, just looking back at it, I'm proud of myself. At times I take time out to pat myself on the back because I know a lot of people wouldn't have made it this far, but also pray that God keep me humble, and keep me with the mentality that I have and strengthen my faith and strength daily, because I know it's only going to get harder. So I'm not expecting things to get any easier once I get to the NFL, wherever city, state I land in, out of the 32 teams. I look at it all as a blessing and just another part of my life where I'm gonna have to fight to get to the top. And until I'm a number one, a top running back in the NFL, I'll have that mindset, and even then, I'll develop an even stronger mindset when it comes to just football and life and things of that nature.
And what was your turning point where you were like, yes, this is worth it? What was it where at that moment when you were just like, you dropped to your knees and you thank God and you're just, that was probably, I mean, up until, I mean, there's more of those moments to come, but up until right now, what was that moment for you so far?
I would probably have to say, one of the biggest moments where I dropped to my knees and thank God was really when I signed my national letter of intent to the University of Baylor December 16, 2009. That was, for me to go through everything I had gone through in junior college and having no offers and having all the offers that I did have, that was that was probably a point in my life where I realized, like, if I keep on fighting and keep on believing, I can do any and everything I want to do as long as I keep God first. So when that happened, when I got to Baylor and to experience the things that I've experienced here and meet the people that I meet, I tend to get on my knees a lot, thank God. But as far as looking at things from an NFL standpoint, I feel like after I was blessed enough to have the pro day that I had, that was just really big. That was probably like one of the biggest accomplishments thus far in my life. How I ran a 4.37, I broad jumped 11, my bench pressed 225 pounds, 21 times. So, I really blew it up and tore it up that day on a big stage. Seeing that my quarterback won the Heisman and my team went 10-3, finished with a win in the Alamo Bowl. And, we was on, Baylor University was on a big stage this year. So, when I was able to accomplish those things and start to get positive feedback from NFL teams and just to sometimes just even hear people just say my name on some draft boards and things like that, regardless of where I'll go, that was just an accomplishment for me, and I thank God for that every day. Because the roads that I've came on and where I come from, especially the last few years, sometimes, the road gets blurry for you. Because you don't make as many, you're not given a chance to make as many plays on the national stage. But, like I said, I thank my coaches and everything, so thanking God. So I really just thank God every day. But I would have to say, when I saw my national letter of intent here, and especially, some of those big-time wins we had against Oklahoma and Baylor during my time here at TCU, obviously last year, those in pro day, those were some of the days where I would have to say I was, most thankful, and not to mention my struggles, because we make it through struggles. That's also something to be grateful for. So I would have to say it would be something like that, to where I would have to say, I was most thankful for it and got on my knees and prayed and thank God most for it.
And just so the listeners can understand, how long have you been playing football? Just so we can, just so they can understand the dedication it takes to get from, because it's not like what some people may think, where it's just like, oh yeah, you play a good game, you get picked. I mean, there's a lot of training involved. I mean, how long have you been training for this day?
Really, since I've been old enough to carry a football, I've been playing football since the age of 8 years old. Tackle football since the age of 8. I played at Victoria Park in Carson, California, with a Carson coach, and that park has been known to get multiple players to Division I schools, great high schools, and even some of them in the National Football League. So I've been working up until that point, and I would have to say up until when I reached the 10th grade, I knew that this was something that I could possibly catch. This was a dream that I could catch with my ability, through hard work and faith and prayer and stuff like that. So it's been hard work, throughout my whole life. Some people don't understand that football is not a 5-month sport. It's a 12-month sport. It's year-round. It never stops. Especially here at Baylor, after the bowl game, we go right back at it 3 weeks later. Training and stuff like that. So it's an everyday process. Right now, I'm actually on my way with a D tackle of mine who's also going to be picked up, and get a chance to live out his dreams, Tracy Robinson. And we're going to go run a hill right now and get working right now while other people, probably not doing that. So it's a lot of hard work. It's really what you do behind the scenes when people not watching. Because that's what makes you. That's what makes you a player of who you are. What are you going to do behind the scenes when it counts most? So it's just a lot of hard work and a lot of belief. You got to grind in your belief. When I say grind, I mean work hard and train harder. and play even harder. So, yeah, I mean, it's an everyday struggle. It's every day you got to wake up and do it even when you don't want to do it. So, I would have to say since my sophomore year of high school, I can't even recall a week where I didn't train at least a day. So, it's pretty much an everyday grind for me. So.
And you are an absolute inspiration, really. I mean, people who don't before I became a reporter, I had no idea that some of the best players have been training since 8, 9, 10 years old. And this is something that really you've been preparing for, to hit that NFL field, to be pro. That's really your whole life was training for that, and to have that much dedication is amazing. It really is.
Yeah, that's just a blessing. I also thank God for just blessing me with the mentality to be able to keep it going, because I come from South Central California, where a lot of people don't make it out of that place. And I've played with great athletes throughout my whole life there, and it's unfortunate that from the ghetto, people might call it, but you get easily distracted with games and stuff like that, and so a lot of people don't really make it good. So when you step back and look at people like me and the people that I was raised with, that was blessed enough and fortunate enough to keep on going and keep that drive and the best out of there, even if it's just to junior college or to university or even to the NFL, it's just a blessing, and you can't really do nothing but be thankful, for just making it that far. So I mean, now, just having conversations with people like you and trying to share my story, I'm thankful because I get an opportunity to make kids, regardless of what situation you're in. You cannot be as a high-profile recruiter athlete, but that doesn't mean anything. You can make it with the will and the drive and the faith and the prayer. Those are the things that keep me going and got me thus far. So it's just a blessing to be able to share my story to other people and stuff. So I'm thankful for that.
And interviewing people like you, Isaac, honestly keeps me going, because it's an inspiration. It really is. It helps me to know that I'm helping somebody else by sharing your story, because there might be a reader out there in South LA right now listening, and it might be at that, we all hit a fork of the road when we come from, the ghetto. I mean, there's no other way of saying it, where we can either do good or do bad. And your story, what you're saying, might inspire me. You know what? I'm just going to do my homework. I'm going to stay inside instead of running around the streets. I'm going to do this instead of taking the easy way out. And it is the easy way out to selling drugs. It is the easy way out to going and giving in to your anger. And when we come from where we come from, I mean, you do see a lot of injustice and bad things happen, and sometimes there's a lot of anger, but you've mastered that and you've turned that into a positive thing, and I commend you for that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, but I don't like to look at myself as anybody special, because it's a lot of people that was raised like this, so I'm no different than any other. Like I said, I was raised with friends that came out of the same community and stuff like that that's made us. So I don't like to single myself out as if I'm doing anything spectacular or special, although in the way it is. But it's people like you that even gives me drive and motivation, on a daily, on a regular. So just as thankful as you are to listen to my story, it goes both ways. I'm grateful and thankful to be even here talking to you, getting the opportunity to share it. It just makes me as it is to you. So.
Thank you, Isaac, and I'm gonna have to wrap it up because it went over the 15 minutes for the YouTube channel, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. This is Lucky Smith signing off of Star of a News Magazine. Do you want to give a shout out to anybody, Isaac, or a quick place where people can find you out on Twitter, Facebook, so that way we can follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at I_Williams, WILLIAMS 4. And I'd like to give a shout out just to everybody who ever believes in me, everybody who keeps on believing in me, all my teammates here at Baylor, and all my coaches, all my family, all the trainers that I've trained with, Coach E, JT, even Antonio Cromartie, I've worked closely with him for the past year and a half for the New York Jets, my cousins Mike Evans and Dwayne, just without God, I wouldn't be doing any of this. So, you know, I mean, if you would acknowledge anything, anybody or anything that I just said, you know, I would want it to be God. You know, so just keeping God first, and that's really it right there. So.
Thank you. And again, this is Lucky Smith signing off. This is the Player Watch this year, you guys. Thank you, and I'm signing off.